Welcome to Leadership with Darrell W. Gunter. The objective of this show is quite simple and purposeful, to bring forth ideas, practices, ethics, and morals that leaders must follow. Leadership is not a title, it is a behavior, it's a responsibility, it is stewardship. Today, I'm honored to welcome my homeboy from Atlantic City, New Jersey, the Reverend Dr. Jeffrey Fauntleroy. He's author of the book For the Love of Community, Meeting Needs and Solving Problems. So today, we're going to talk to Reverend Dr. Fauntleroy, who is a pastor. He's a retired police detective. He's an educator, community advisor, advocate, entrepreneur, and he just recently ran for Congress in his district. His book, For the Love of Community, Meeting Needs and Solving Problems. Jeffrey, welcome to the program.
Thank you so much, Darrell. It's a pleasure and it's an honor.
I, you know, it in our pre-interview, I just learned so much more about you because we grew up in Atlantic City and I graduated and I moved up to North Jersey and I lost track. But through the means of social media, I was able to catch up with you on Facebook and see all the great things that you're doing. I think it's important for the audience to know that you're bringing more than 3 decades of ministry. You have 25 years in law enforcement. You have extensive leadership in education and nonprofit organizations. And your book challenges us to rethink how communities can overcome division by rebuilding trust and strengthening partnerships. So, allow me to ask you, what prompted you to write this book?
Well, Brother Gunter, actually, law enforcement wise is really about 35 years
35.
because
Okay.
once I retired from the police department in Atlantic City, I went on to the federal level to become a federal investigator, and I served as a bar an investigator for the Florida Bar Association. And then I had my own private practice, law enforcement, security, and private investigations. So it's been a while. We've done some things, but what inspired me? You said the question was what inspired me to write this book?
Exactly. Exactly. I think your children had something to do with it.
Well, yeah, I had a conversation with my son, my youngest, and he really inspired me to talk to people about this and get my story out there. Um, because he said, Dad, you did a lot. Even when I talk to my wife, we think about some of the things that we have done over the years and all we've accomplished that God has allowed us to be involved with. And it's like there's no way that God has allowed me to be involved in the things that I've been involved in just to sit back and talk about it. It is a duty, it's a responsibility to help make my where in the proximity where I am, wherever I was, I wanted to give back. I wanted to make a positive contribution into the society that I was in so that I would do my part to make it better for all people.
Mhm.
And that's all that we can do. We can do what we know to do
Mhm.
and we can do it together. And if everybody works together, we can get this done.
And I have to say, one of the things I'm proud of all the things that you've done, but most proud was I just happened to be in the audience at church that day that you delivered your inaugural sermon at Second Baptist Church in Atlantic City.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a heck of a moment, man. It was amazing to see the people who came out to support and the opportunity that was given to me by Pastor Days to deliver that message and go on into ministry. That was my licensing
Right.
uh, situation, and I was licensed that night. And it was a yearning over the years, and that started the faith realm
Mhm.
of community leadership.
Well, if I recall, community leadership, but also being an entrepreneur, you opened up one of the first UPS stores in Atlantic City.
It was actually one of the first UPS franchises. We went from mailboxes, etc. And mailboxes, etc. Was brought out by United Parcel Service. So
Hmm.
we were one of the first UPS franchises, and it was the first one in Atlantic City. And that was part of a faith initiative.
Hmm.
And we joined ranks with other African American owned businesses to hire young people to let them know about the importance of entrepreneurship,
Hmm.
business, and everything that was entailed with that. That you just didn't do something for profit. You gave back to the community. We purchased uniforms. We helped out with campaigns. We helped out with fundraising and everything else. We were part of the community.
Oh, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. And it really it it was built in one of the areas that were being rehabilitated, if you will. It,
Yeah, it we took a risk. It was not advised by our franchisees,
Mhm.
franchise advisors.
Right.
They wanted us to go offshore, and I said, no, I'm committed to my community. And we did our best, put it that way.
Well, congratulations on that. So, with all of the experiences that you have, the police detective, the pastor, the school board member, the business owner, the educator, the congressional candidate. How did each of these experiences shape your philosophy of community leadership?
Well, what it did was in every part of that, it showed me that there's not one organization that can do everything on its own.
Hmm.
It's like the body. You need the fingers, you need the hands, you need the right hand, you need the left hand, you need the left eye, you need the right eye, you need the hand, the feet. You need all of those things to function and able to help develop other human beings,
Hmm.
help the community, help
Hmm.
this nation. It showed me that in all of those different areas that I was involved in, Brother Darrell, that for the most part, everybody was saying the same things.
Hmm.
They wanted to be heard,
Hmm.
they wanted respect, and they wanted a safe community.
Hmm.
They wanted a good education. They just wanted to be at peace in their community, and they wanted to know how they could give back and be involved. So all of those entities, being a police detective, that showed me that incarceration is not the only way, or is not the way that we solve the problems. We got to go to the root of the problems. And every one of these things, even as a pastor, it showed me that you got to get to the root of the problems, and you have to deal with the root. You've got to communicate to that root.
Hmm.
As a school board member, you needed to find out where the needs were and meet those needs. You had to make sure that the curriculum was correct for those you were serving, and then you had to make sure you had the correct educators involved to put forth that curriculum that was established. As a business owner, um, it's location, location, location when it comes to business. And you need to make sure that you are meeting the needs and solving the problems of the community through your business. And then, as a congressional candidate, one of the things that I've taught my children over the years is listen to what a person is saying so that you can hear what they're saying. So it really um, hit home for me to all those things that I understood. The congressional candidacy made me listen to the needs of the community. And unfortunately, we had to work on people getting out to vote. But I did
Hmm.
hear the concerns of the community. And even though I did not win on a ballot, I won because I'm able now to take that, what was given to me, put that into form, and go out into the community. And I'm teaching civic lessons
Right.
all throughout District 13, where I live.
Wow, that is huge. That
So
is.
we've never stopped the campaign. We're going to different libraries, community organizations, and we're teaching the importance of civics and the
Right.
importance of the vote.
Well, I applaud that because Elections are on one day, but the process should be every day.
Oh, it's every day.
Yeah.
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 The campaign never stopped. We're not collecting funds or anything like that, but we are still communicating with the public to empower the public to let them know just how powerful they have it
Right.
and what their vote can do for the goodness of their community.
Absolutely. Was there one experience that you've had over the years that impacted your philosophy about community service, or is it just a collective of many different experiences?
I don't think I can say one, but I think more of a collective. You know, and we talked about it in the pre-interview where we grew up on the west side of Atlantic City. It was I want to say it was different, but it really wasn't. You find those communities everywhere you go.
Mhm.
It was a community where, I could walk down McKinley Avenue, and any one of the ladies on the block could pull me into the house and feed me lunch or uh, scold me, or one of the men on the block would say, "Hey, don't do that," or
Mhm.
"Hey, come on, let's take a ride. Your mom knows where you are. I already called." Or the OGs like yourself and some of the other older guys, would make sure you were good. And so all of those things let me know that together,
Mhm.
together as a community, we can make it better. When you look at the word community, again, I love words, and I look at the etymology of the word, and it's a late 14th century word that means a number of people associated together by the fact of residence in
Mm.
the same locality.
Oh, wow.
Also means the common people, not the rulers or the clergy, but the common people.
Ah.
The French etymology of that is communité, which means everybody together. And then in Latin, it is communitatum, which means society, fellowship, friendly intercourse. That was a different meaning. But when you look at it,
Sure.
friendly
Right.
intercourse is
Right.
intimacy.
Right.
It's intimacy.
Hmm. Wow. And so when you're looking at your experience and your and what motivated you to write this book, was there a particular situation that occurred when you realized that communities were losing their sense of connection? They were losing that social intercourse as you just stated?
Yeah, yeah, we were focusing more on programs than we were solutions.
Hmm.
Um, we were talking about, unfortunately, programs uh, they pay for things. You get grants, you get funding, and you're able to have a salary. You're able to hire people, and you just got to spend the money so that you can continue to get the money.
Hmm.
And it was programs thinking that if we just keep people occupied, that we could solve problems, but we weren't getting to the root of the problems. For instance, in law enforcement, we had a situation where there was a big fight that kept continuing. And, we kept arresting people or stopping the violence. And finally, I just said, hey, wait a minute. What is at the center of this? What is at the root of this? Why is this continuing? Only to find out, Brother Gunter, that it was about a boy
Mm.
and a girl that had found out that he was two-timing, for the sake of a lesser words. He was going out with someone else. And this
Hmm.
girl got mad and she went after this girl, and then her friends went after her friends. And it went on, man, where it disrupted the entire school population.
Wow.
So I got with some community group members, some faith leaders, and said, hey, listen, arresting this incarceration is not going to solve this problem. We got to sit down and we got to talk and get to the root of the problem. We did. We brought the people in. We got all of the crowd away.
Hmm.
got to the center of it, found out who was involved, had them talk, hash it out. They hugged it up, cried. It was over.
Wow. So, in your book, you ask a very fundamental question. Where do we start?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, yeah. And I'm reading out of it. It says that we start by recognizing that no single organization can solve the problems facing our communities alone.
Hmm.
It's not a single organization. We hear people campaigning saying that they're going to do this and they're going to do that, and that's fine. That's part of the issue. But it's the homegrown people who know the people. It's the relationship, which means in the interpersonal um, definition of that, it means platonic connections
Hmm.
formed through mutual interests or shared proximity,
Hmm.
such as friendships or professional colleague associations.
Hmm.
So, where we start is getting to know one another.
Right.
When we know one another, we care for that person. Now, we may not agree with that person, but we know them enough to see through their lens.
Right.
We see how they see things and we get to appreciate it. Although we may not agree, we at least understand them.
Right.
And we find out what their why is. I often tell people,
Mm.
find out what a person's why is. Like, what's your why? Why? Why do you do this? Why do you like that? Why did you go in that direction? Why is this? Find out their why.
Mm. Let's talk about one of your favorite stories, and that is your grandmother who told you we used to know one another.
Oh man.
And
Boy.
why has that statement stayed with you? Share with us.
Uh if I told you where this was, you would understand it 100%. Um, when I came on, we walked the beat
Right.
and we saw this argument, and she said to me, I I was there with my partner, and we listened to the argument just to make sure that it didn't escalate into something more. And after they saw us and it de-escalated and we were able to break it up, this person said to me, this didn't normally happen. We used to know each other. And that stuck with me because it's the truth. We didn't take time to learn each other. When I retired and I moved to Florida, we moved into a neighborhood and we got to know the person to the left of me, the person to the right of me, the person in front of me, and the person around me.
Hmm.
Because this is where I went to sleep and this is where I woke up every day. And I wanted to know who these people were.
Right.
And the only way we could do that is we talked to one another.
Hmm.
And it wasn't a quick thing, it was meeting them where they were.
Right.
One person on one side of me, they were of Caribbean descent. And I heard some music and asked him about the music. And one day he brought me over some fruitcake. And
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
this wasn't your normal fruitcake.
Okay.
This was that Jamaican black cake. And we got to talk and we were very friendly. The person across from me, um, they were kind of strange, but I saw their why. And we formulated a relationship based on certain things we had in common. We had children that liked sports. So yeah, we got to know each other.
Hmm.
But that stayed with me because it was true. Our neighborhoods, we come in, we live in some of these affluent areas, and we pull in, we open up the garage, we pull in the garage, and then we close the garage, and we're not seen anymore. So we don't know what goes on.
Mm. As Diana Ross would say, reach out and touch someone,
Reach out
right?
and touch, man. Reach out and touch.
In your book, you repeatedly talk about trust. Can a community truly prosper without trust? And how is trust developed?
I heard, I told you I was listening to Dr. Daniel Black, and I heard this description that a bird builds a nest in a tree, and that's a tribute to the tree. That bird trusts that tree with not only that bird's life, but the life that they have given. Those little birds, uh, all gathered together, it knows that that tree is sturdy enough for protection.
Right.
That's what trust is. Trust is knowing that I am safe with you because I've seen you and I've seen how you carried yourself.
Mhm.
And because of that, I am trusting you
Mm.
to help us be a part of the change in this community that is needed. Trust comes with mm, it comes with again that interpersonal relationship. It
Mhm.
comes from talking. Good morning. Hey, how you doing?
Right,
Hey, how's everything?
right.
And opening up. Hey, how about that game? Did you see the game last night? Hey, did you see the soccer match? Hey, did you see that car speeding down there last night? Or
Mhm.
something to break the ice to start that relationship, that those platonic connections.
Right. Let's talk about because this is one of my favorite chapters in the book, from presence to performance.
Oh man.
What do you mean by that? From
Well,
presence to performance.
yeah. Let's deal with that. So presence is the state of being.
Hmm.
It's the state of being in a certain place and not some other.
Hmm.
That's presence.
Hmm.
Performance is the act of carrying out an action
Okay.
or deed.
Okay.
It's the act of.
Hmm.
Presence is the state of being.
Okay.
So, presence, when I'm present, I'm there. I'm there. Uh, I was talking to a young father, and he asked me, he said, man, I just want to be the perfect dad. And I said, man, don't be the perfect dad, but try to perfect presence.
Hmm.
In other words, just try and be there. You're going to make some mistakes, but you can only make the mistake if you're present.
Right.
And if that mistake, if something doesn't go the way that you wanted it to go, just say, okay, I won't do that again.
Hmm.
But at least you were there to assist, to give
Right.
something.
Right.
Just be present. Performance means that I'm trying to be seen. It's an act,
Mm.
act of carrying out. And I think that, not I think, I wrote about it that we went from presence to performance. We got into this era where we want to be seen rather than just doing, rather than being present. When you're present in the life of the people, when you're present in the life of your children and your wife, you get to know them. You get to hear them. You get to interact. But if it's a performance,
Mm.
there's no real intimacy. It's just trying to be seen, trying to be something that you're not.
Mm.
So it's a downfall of many institutions that we're in, this performance regimen that we're in. And I see it swaying back into presence because that performance era has caused the damage that makes us have to be back into presence.
So that leads right into my next question, which is how can faith organizations reclaim their historical role as community anchors?
Presence. Presence. And I can say this because I've been a pastor. There hasn't been a position in the church that I haven't occupied.
Mhm.
Um, in different faiths also, and that is in Islam, uh,
Mhm.
Christianity. Uh, we've got so program oriented. We come into church and we have this, and then we have that, and then we have that, and then we have that. And when I became a pastor, I made sure that we just didn't have church, but we had time to get to know one another.
Mhm.
I made sure that people spoke to one another and asked questions. Hey, who are you? What do you do?
Mhm.
Not to judge them or place them in a particular realm, but we often see hear that your blessing could be sitting right next to you, and that's true. And
Right.
I learned a big lesson, Brother Dow, during this campaign.
Uh-huh.
There was a young lady who sat behind us, and we talked, just general talk. Hey, how you doing? I missed you. Didn't know, oh, this your family? Okay, good, good, good. And we talked all the time. I couldn't tell you her name. And she told me, and I told her, come to find out, she was the campaign manager for a very prominent candidate
Wow.
here in the state of Georgia.
Oh.
And this person was very well known. And when I saw that, I said, got to be more careful. I was sitting right in front of my own blessing.
Wow.
And they
Wow.
never knew what I was involved in because I never talked to them about it.
Right.
Just general talk. So faith institutions have to practice presence.
Mm-hmm.
It just can't be the regular session of you come in, there's a program, you go
Mm-hmm.
through the program, and then you're off to the next. One of the things that in Islam is oftentimes I have a very big following from the Islamic community, and I go to the Jummah prayer on Fridays,
Mm-hmm.
and they have what's known as a khutbah, which is a sermon,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's prayer, and then afterwards there's fellowship where people are just out talking.
Right.
There's food that's provided,
Mm-hmm.
and they talk, and I'm thinking, wow, man, this is what we got to do.
Yeah.
And many of our faith institutions do that. Many churches do that. They have it so that afterwards, you've got the parking lot ministry where
Right.
people are outside talking. But
Right.
let's do something organized where presence is there.
Believe it or not, we're almost at the end, and I want
Oh, you got to be
I
kidding
know
me.
time flies. Um, where how can someone get in touch with you? If they, of course, your book, which is titled "For the Love of Community: Meeting Needs, Solving Problems," can be acquired on Amazon and every other channel.
Yes, yes. All of those entities, Amazon. You can also go to my website, drjfaunt.org, and the book is available there. And then you can see about some of the things that my organization does, our 501c3, Jeff Care, and our company, which is a community consulting company. Um, so, yeah, the book is available. Go out and get it. We put a lot of work into this. We got some more stuff coming out, but what we're doing now is we're doing some community readings at some libraries,
Mhm.
and along with doing our civics teaching and the power of the vote, educating the community on the power of the vote and the importance of civics.
I'm just curious, have you been in touch with Stacey Abrams?
Not yet. We have crossed paths, and I want to make sure that the way we're doing what we're doing is uh, not so much effective, but tailored so that we can invite someone else to come in.
Beautiful, beautiful. So I want to do a lightning round with you. If you could give me a one-word response to these different categories.
Uh-oh.
Leadership is.
Hmm. Community.
Oh. Community is.
Ah, important.
Trust is.
Earned.
Faith is.
Mm. Trust.
Hope is.
Eternal.
The greatest challenge facing America is.
Racism.
One leadership habit everyone should develop.
Break down racism.
Okay, so if our listeners remember only one lesson from your book 10 years from now, what do you hope that lesson would be?
All things are possible if you put forth the effort and learn a person's why and are intentional about meeting the needs and solving the problems of your sphere of influence. Everybody can't do everything, but everybody can do something.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to recommend, excuse me, I want to thank my guests, Dr. Reverend Jeffrey Fauntleroy, my childhood friend from Atlantic City, New Jersey, for coming on the program to talk about his book, For the Love of Community, Meeting Needs, Solving Problems. It reminds us that communities don't heal through division, they heal through relationships, trust, partnership, and servant leaderships. Jeffrey, congratulations on writing such a thoughtful contribution to the ongoing conversation about rebuilding stronger communities. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me. Thank you so much. And thank you all for listening.
To our listening audience, thank you for spending your time with us today. If today's conversation added value, please subscribe to Leadership with Darrell W. Gunter on your favorite podcast and on our YouTube channel as well. Share this episode with someone who aspires to lead with excellence. I wish you each a productive and positive day. But remember, leadership begins with you.